Hey, what's going on, guys? I feel like it's been a minute since I have filmed a one-on-one video. So hello, my name is Natalie. Welcome to my channel. And this isn't going to be heavily edited just because I do not feel like editing, and I've been trying to get this video out for a minute, but I feel like I've been so hyper fixated on scripting. I'm just gonna tell you guys from my experience and go from there. So I am going to talk about how I saved my first $1,000 emergency fund, and how if you're someone who wants to start saving or is saving and struggling, remember, not a financial advisor, just someone who did it. Now I'm sharing my experience and just kind of break it down on how I was able to do that. So back in 2025, so last year, I opened up a CD account. If you guys don't know what that is a certificate deposit account. Basically, you pick a term, and a term is a fixed amount of time that you're depositing money into it. And terms can be like, I did a 12-month term, but there's also like a 3-month term, 2-year term, 3-year terms. There's a variety of different ones, but basically a CD account is where you open up a savings account and it is on a fixed time, which is a term that you're putting money into it. So I opened that up, and the minimum of the deposits monthly was $50 a month. So I have that in the back of my mind. But what I did, since I wanted to hit that $1,000 goal, I did a $2,000 goal. So what I did was I just did a simple formula of, okay, my term is 12 months. I want to save $2,000. How am I going to do that? So I took 12 months divided by 2,000. No, sorry. I took $2,000 divided by 12 months, and that got me roughly $167 per month. So that was my target for each month. Instead of putting the minimum $50 a month, I just put in $167 a month. Now, it wasn't exactly always on target. Sometimes I could only put like the minimum, or 100 here, 100 there. But there were some months where I was making extra income, so I was putting over more than 167, or I was hitting that goal each month. So, all right, so I opened up the CD account. I was making monthly deposits for 12 months. So what are the pros and the cons with CD accounts? So let me backtrack. So why did I choose a CD account versus a regular savings account or a high yield savings account? Well, first and foremost, I knew that I was going to be with that 4% rate. So that is one thing. Well, one reason why I chose it, the CD account, was because I knew I was going to have that same rate throughout the whole term. Another reason was self-discipline. Before this, I had absolutely no emergency fund whatsoever. So I know I needed to try to conjure something up. Also, I was in the middle of paying off bad debt, still paying off bad debt. And so I knew I needed some extra cushion while I'm trying to do that. So I was simultaneously building my emergency fund while also paying off my debt. So I really just needed that discipline of, okay, we are not going to touch this money until the term is up. So those are two reasons why I decided to open up a CD account versus opening up any other account. This is my thing. So if you're someone who is a set it and forget it person and is just focused on a goal, I would just go ahead and, commit to the CD account because it is for a fixed amount of time. But if you're someone who is trying to save and you need that cash if an emergency pops up and you don't have anything to back it up, then I would use a high yield savings account. But just know with the high yield savings account, try to aim for between 3 to 5% interest on it. So you're at least making something, because with a regular savings account, which I don't recommend at all, you won't really get much interest off of it back. Like most, if you're with Bank of America, Chase, or whatever, and you have a savings account with them, then that's only like 0.05% or 1%. You're not really making much interest off of that. So those are the two reasons why I chose, was because I knew I was going to be in a fixed rate of 4%, and two, I needed the discipline to just practice saving money. So now we're going to get into the pros and cons of certificate of deposit accounts. So pros, they have high interest rates up to 3, 4, some I've even seen 5%, and you are staying within that rate. Two, it helps practice self-discipline, putting money away and not touching it. Also, another pro, it is FIDC, is that right? FDIC insured up to $250,000. So if anything goes wrong, if the bank fails, just know that your money is still safe and secured. Now the cons for CDs accounts: one, your money's locked in, so if you try to withdraw early, you will get penalized. Usually it's between like 3 to 6 months interest, so just that's something to be aware about. I would say that's a con. It's honestly not ideal for true emergencies. So if you're someone with no savings and you're trying to save and emergency does happen in real time, you cannot realistically pull that out. You can pull it out, but you'll get penalized. But just know that if that's the case, that would be a con, and I would recommend just do the high yield savings account at that point. So a con here, it's kind of a personal opinion, but because it's a fixed rate, say if rates go up, then you're still locked in with that same rate. So if rates go up to like 4.5%, then you're still within that term, you're only gonna keep getting that 4% interest. Now, this could be a pro if that rate goes down during that time. It goes down to lower than 4%, you're still locked into that term. So you still get that rate that you have when you got it. So it could be either way, however you want to think about it. So now, how are you going to start building your emergency fund? First things first is you're going to set a goal. It could be $1,000. It don't even have to be $1,000. It could be $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. However you want to do it, just establish that goal first. Now, two, you're going to choose. Are you going to go with the CD account, or are you going to go with the high yield savings? A little tidbit: if you don't care, if you're not necessarily in, a rush to, get the money, or you're not worried about an emergency, then I would just go with the CD account. If you're someone, that needs the easy access and a decent interest rate, then I would just go with the high yield savings account. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but a money market account is a kind of medium middle. We'll talk about that later in a later video, but a money market account is definitely another option for you. Remember, not a financial advisor, just these are the accounts that I have and I've been using, so I'm just kind of throwing those out there to you. Step 3, you're gonna automate the account. So whatever the minimum is on your term, or if you have a minimum goal that you have yourself, and if you do direct deposit or however you do it, or if you want to do it manually, I guess you can, because I did that. But whatever the goal is, treat it like a bill. Every month you put that money and deposit it into that account, so that way it's just there and you're not, trying to conjure up each month how to get that done. Step 4, find extra money. If you have a part-time job or a side gig going on, extra assignments, or if you have a little business that you have opened up. Like I said, I'm reselling clothes right now, so that's definitely an extra income for me. coming in outside of my regular working hours. So definitely try to do something like that. Or if you have like taxes coming in, birthday money, whatever else, that could be another way to save some cash. Step 5, the most important one is do not touch the money. If it's not an emergency, then don't do it. Emergencies are if your car breaks down, if you have a medical bill, you lost your job, urgent home repair. Those are like the things that are emergencies. Other stuff, sit down. If you have a partner, sit down and talk to your partner about it, or do a self-analysis. Is this really an emergency, or can this be held off, or is there another way I can go about this? So that's the last step. Just make sure you're hitting it. And I'm gonna add a bonus one. Once you hit your emergency fund goal, whether it's 500, 1,000, whatever the case may be, keep going, because that is helping you build the habit of saving money. And the ultimate goal is, once you save that first $1,000 emergency fund, now you're gonna wanna up it. You're gonna make a goal of 3 to 6 months of expenses. But even $1,000, guys, that's a huge milestone. So pat yourself on the back if you achieve that. And if you're planning on achieving that, just know in the back of your head that you're ahead of the majority of what America got going on. Big girl steps. And now I look back and I'm just like, man, this is so exciting. Building my first emergency fund was the most awesomest thing I could ever do for my financial journey and setting my foundation of, moving forward and building wealth. Because with that, it gives you a peace of mind, and it also gives you more options, and it puts you more at ease knowing that you got money in the bank stacked up. Real talk, real talk. And if you're starting from zero, that's okay. I was there too. Just start, even if it's like $10 a week. That's something, and it's better than nothing. And if you're wondering whether to use a CD or a high yield savings account, just know my take is, if you need the flexibility, go for the high yield savings account. If you need more of the discipline, then go for the CD account. And yes, that's the video. Hi again. Thank you for watching. I'm Natalie. If this helped you, please like that, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want some real money talk, and drop a comment down below. Do you have an emergency fund? If so, how much? What's your target goal? Or if you're trying to, how do you want to set that up? Do you want to go for a CD? Do you want to go for a high yield savings account? What's your target goal? 500, 1,000? What's going on? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Happy days. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.